Good morning to you all. Let me start by appreciating this occasion for Pan-African movement to have a discussion around trade with the business community of Rwanda. And with that, let me first salute you all, Honorable Minister, Honorable Leader of PSF, Diana from RTV that is with us, and Comrade Business Committee and Pan-Africans here present. Pan-African and Pan-Africanism, as the CEO of PSF has just alluded, is an ideology that is aimed at resolving any challenges that faces the African human being. In their struggles, it focused on struggling for equality of humanity, that the African is equal to any person in the world. Later on, it struggled for political independence, and it achieved it. At present, it is focused on creating right opportunities for the African and the African continent. The vision, the 2063 vision that we have, aims at having African countries well integrated. We need to see all of us having prosperity that serves better living of our people. We want peace and no conflicts on the continent. We want a people-centered governance that gives the opportunity of Africans to rule themselves. And we want a unity that creates a solid voice for Africa in global affairs. Now, that said, it focuses again on the African Day. The African Day, the only day that all Africans have committed to celebrate, was decided on 25th May 1963, when 31 countries had attained independence, and it resolved they are going to do everything in their power to make sure that no African country stays in bondage under colonialism. The last colonial country was liberated in 1994 when South Africa got its independence from apartheid. In 1994, the Pan-African Congress resolved we are going to move away from the concept of Organization of African Unity to a concept of a Union of Africa, AU. And that's when it was decided in 2013 to launch it, AU, and the vision that's going to guide it. While celebrating these years, 60 years after the declaration of the African Liberation Day, we had a conversation with PSF leadership that we need to focus on the role of the private sector in attaining the African vision that we have. And as most of you know, in general, the integration, the union, and any other aspects that involves getting Pan-Africanist state in Africa is generally state-driven by politicians. And yet, the private sector has a lot to gain, and therefore, a lot they can do to make sure that this one comes along. The theme of this year was accelerating the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, and that's what we have the discussion along with this one. We have arranged a number of speakers that will help us to understand what role the private sector in Africa and in Rwanda can do to accelerate it. It is an agreement that is moving at a great pace in relation to others that we have seen on the African continent. And we hope that pace can be continued, especially with the involvement of the business sector in Rwanda and Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still way off as a contributor to the world economy. We know that Africa now has 17% of the population of the world. And yes, in contributing to wealth, we are contributing less than 5% of the global wealth. And on growth, we are contributing less than 3% of the economic growth of the world. That has to be reversed. And can best be reversed if we determine to shed off the constraints that stop us from being as productive as possible. We need to focus on technology acquisition. And that's when we can increase production and productivity. We need to work tirelessly to determine the prices of the goods that we produce. Because right now, the trade we do with other countries, when we sell our products, they determine the price they give us. And when they sell we import their goods, they determine the prices we give them. And yet, if we can have inter-African trade and sit down, we can easily increase the profit margins that our business create, because then we have started a term of price controls and determination. With these few remarks, let me say I open this dialogue. I call it a dialogue, breakfast dialogue, so that we can end up having a way forward that business community in Rwanda can contribute to the Pan-African vision that will benefit all of us. I thank you.